Whitney Adams from the Whitney A channel, and I'm coming to you from the WSWA TV studios at the 74th Annual WSWA Convention and Exposition here in Orlando. And today I am joined by Sam Searcy, the CCO, and Scott Russ, the distiller of Bedlam Vodka. Hello, gentlemen.
Great. Hello, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Is this
great.
your first time here at the convention?
Yeah. It is.
What are your thoughts?
I think this is exciting. I think you feel the energy here at the convention, and it's not only our first time at a convention such as WSWA, this is our launch.
Wow,
so
yeah.
It's a very special day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Excited to have you here. I'm really excited to give this a try later. But before we start talking about Bedlam, let's talk a little bit about your backgrounds and how you got into the distilled spirit business.
Absolutely.
So let's start with you.
Absolutely. So Scott and I met through a mutual friend, Brandon Evans, who is also a founding partner of Graybeard Distillery with our product, of course, Bedlam Vodka. And interestingly, we're all three attorneys. So I had a pharmaceutical background, Scott had a solo practice, and Brandon also worked at pharmaceuticals. So I think the idea was born basically over a night of drinking.
Yes.
So about a year ago.
A lot of great ideas are born over a few cocktails.
Absolutely.
And I think we were all kind of interested in something more, doing something different, and we had all kind of, I think, reached a point of dissatisfaction with what we were doing. We wanted to make something and move on.
Right, of course. Take off the tie, the jacket.
Yeah, it's time to take the tie off and put the t-shirt
Put on a great t-shirt.
That's right.
So you're based in North Carolina.
Yes, that's correct.
And this brand is inspired by Ireland.
It is.
So tell me a little bit about the inspiration for Bedlam and how you came to think about rice as the star ingredient.
Okay.
So the inspiration really was a recipe from my family, and it goes back a couple hundred years. There's quite a bit of rebellion and history and rebellion against authority in my Irish ancestry. And again, like Sam said, over a night of drinking and talking about kind of what we wanted to do, we kind of started playing around with this idea of making a spirit. And I said, you know, I have this idea to do it with rice, and it's kind of out of left field. It's an Irish, it's Irish history made out of rice that is a drink that most people typically associate with Russia. So you've got a lot of different things that are kind of all coming to play at the same time, and so we adapted what I had, and that's how Bedlam was born. Yeah.
And how does that affect the overall flavor and texture of the product, of the vodka?
Well,
using rice instead of something else.
So rice has a very interesting and very subtle flavor profile, and I think with a lot of commercial vodkas, there is this push to filter it down to odorless, tasteless spirit, and you lose some of the beauty of the grain that you're using. Rice has this very floral, almost sweet on the palate kind of profile, and we didn't want to lose that. I think that it's a very unique taste. You know you're drinking vodka, but it's not a vodka that you've ever had before. So there's all these sort of subtle sweet notes and nutty notes, floral. That's the best way I can think to describe it.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's easy to tell too, the uniqueness does not stop, of course, with the vodka. It goes over into the logo and the actual display of the bottle as well. You know, we knew that when we were getting into the vodka business that it's a very crowded dance floor, and we really had to carve out our own space if we wanted to stand out. And so we think we've been able to do that with this branding and with this product.
And how did you come to, I'm sure you've worked with some talented graphic designers.
Absolutely.
What was the inspiration? I'd love to kind of know what was the back and forth and discussions on how you got to this logo and also what you wanted the bottle to look like.
Sure. Well, we have a very talented agency that we're working with, The Republic, based out of Durham, North Carolina as well. And it's interesting because a lot of the sort of, I don't know what you call it, prohibition, but a lot of the, you know, sort of back-channeled alcohols within the country of Ireland were marked with a double-headed raven. So we thought that symbology was perfect to bring into the product and to put onto the label. And then we wanted to go with a little bit more of a primitive, sort of a handwritten, almost a hand-scrolled design as well. And the great thing about our bottle is that our story is on the bottle.
Right.
So it is showing the brand in and of itself within that bottle.
It can live anywhere, and the consumer can pick it up and figure it out without having to speak with anybody there.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about marketing Bedlam Vodka
Sure.
and your approach on-premise, off-premise, and if that changes depending on where you are selling the product.
Absolutely. Do you want to hit on marketing, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So the first week of May, we're launching in North Carolina, and North Carolina is a control state. What that basically means is that the distribution is handled by the state of North Carolina. So the distribution piece, fairly easy. So what we have done, we have targeted some of the largest metropolitan regions within the state. So we will have launch events in Charlotte, in Raleigh, in Wilmington, in Asheville, in Greensboro, and so on. We will follow those launch events up with bar pop-ups or bar tasting events to sort of reinforce the message and really help drive the sales on the other side at the ABC stores. We also have an extensive marketing platform angled toward restaurateurs, bar owners that we're hoping will drive sales as well. I can tell you that the early feedback on the vodka has been phenomenal, and the feedback within the state of North Carolina, the ABC boards that I've met with, they love the bottle, they love the logo, and they just can't wait for it to hit the shelves in May.
Okay, well, congratulations again on the launch. What do you have in store in the future? Like, what are your goals in the upcoming year? I'm sure you got something cooking.
Lots cooking, literally.
A few little top secret things that we're working on.
Secret.
But in terms of marketing and expansion, obviously we'd like to expand into every market that we can get our hands on. And that, going back to what Sam was saying, these rollout events, these launch events, they're all scalable and keeping in mind sort of a national presence that we want to have. But everything from the small venue, the bar, the restaurant, having certain elements of the story, of the marketing, of the overall national campaign that we can bring to these smaller events. Then you can move on to regional launches like we're going to have for the major metropolitan areas in North Carolina and through other states as well. That would be my hope, at least in the next coming 12 to 18 months, is to refine that rollout and just expand our presence.
Okay, amazing. I can't wait to see what you guys get into. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching WSWA TV.